The woman received a mysterious package, but the next second she froze on the spot. Her expression gradually turned into sheer terror. "Mom, what's wrong?" Inside the house, the husband turned his head. His wife was holding a ticking time bomb with both hands. Only 34 seconds were left on the timer. The daughter tried to run forward, but her mother stopped her in fear. "Stay calm. We'll find a way." She looked down. Only 16 seconds remained. He rushed into the bathroom. Outside, the daughter pounded on the door in panic, but the man, injured, could only crawl on the floor. "Go! Get out! Both of you! Mom! Mom! Fang Fang! Stay back!" He kept shouting for his daughter to leave, but the girl kept pounding on the door. "Mom! Mom!" In the end, the bomb went off right before the man's eyes. His daughter was thrown by the blast and flames. The man along was a special security guard. Just last month, he had taken on a mission to protect the boss of a tech company. More than half his team was lost, but the assassin suffered heavy losses too. Although the mission succeeded, he himself was seriously injured, and this explosion was clearly the assassin's revenge. 1 year later, Along completely abandoned his old identity. He went abroad to live in seclusion. With a full beard and long hair, he seemed detached from the world. No longer the spirited young man he once was, he had changed completely. Now he lived as an ordinary repairman. His daughter, Fang Fang, had suffered severe after effects from the explosion. This time, he just wanted to have dinner with her, but she ate a little and went back to her room. She was no longer cheerful. Just then, the man's phone rang. It was his daughter's doctor. Fang Fang still had blood clots in her brain. She could relapse anytime and needed another surgery, but the huge surgical cost was far beyond what he could afford. Along hung up the phone. He didn't notice his daughter eavesdropping behind him. One day, Along went to a bar to make a delivery. He thought it would be a quiet day, but when he went to the restroom, he was drawn by a sudden scream. Before, drunk woman walks out of toilet. A man was standing right in front of him. The woman realized something was wrong and tried to escape, but the door behind her was locked. The man yanked her and pinned her to the ground. The woman couldn't break free at all. Suddenly, the main door was kicked open. Along rushed in and threw him over with a shoulder slam. The man was dazed, stood up, and looked. What happened? He saw just a repairman. He immediately pulled out a huge 5-meter steel blade. He lunged to stab, but Along blocked it. Along twisted his arm and seized the blade, then kicked high with a side leg. The thug was knocked to the floor. He crouched to check the woman's condition, but the hooligan had already gotten up. He smashed a wine bottle with a crash. Along stood up, furious. He punched him in the face and spun into a powerful whip kick. The thug flew more than 10 meters away. He walked out the door and saw a crowd. One drifter smashed a bottle and charged at him. He blocked and shoved him down. Then a thigh kick dropped another one. He kicked away a stick and did a back throw. He grabbed an arm and spun the man through the air. The piano clanged loudly from the impact. Another thug tried to sneak attack with a wine bottle. He caught it barehanded. A flurry of fierce punches rained down. At that moment, flashes of past memories surged in his mind. It turned out he was suffering from PTSD. He quickly ran out of the bar to calm himself down. His wife's death had always been a thorn in his heart. Along wanted to forget this act of heroism, but when he got home, he found a stranger inside. He grabbed a big iron rod and entered cautiously. He aimed at his daughter's room and broke the door open, but he froze on the spot in shock. It was the woman he had saved. Her name was Amy, a member of a high-tech research team. Grateful to him, she invited Along to interview at her company to participate in testing their new armed mech. The mech's power could destroy heaven and earth. It could catch shells barehanded and shatter mountains with one punch. But it also needed a human operator. Along himself was unwilling to join, but the job offered an extremely high salary. For his daughter's treatment, he agreed. That day, he cut his long hair and shaved his beard. He put on a leather jacket and took off his glasses. He was going to the interview for his daughter. Soon, he arrived at Amy's company. This time, he joined 2 foreigners for the interview. They had to wear respirators to prevent oxygen loss. Then they put on the most advanced VR smart equipment. Okay, good luck to you all. The experiment will begin in 5 seconds. Scene of a man fell from the sky. Ahead of him was a field of shipping containers. He patted himself down. No weapons. Suddenly, a group of people rushed out ahead. He quickly ran backward. One man with a knife was taken down in 2 moves. The path was full of enemies with handheld weapons. In the narrow gaps between containers, he knocked down a gang of thugs. At last, he fought his way through to the finish point. But when he went to rescue the hostage as instructed, the hostage looked exactly like his wife. Along was triggered once again. In reality, he ripped off the equipment and collapsed to the ground. "Are you okay? What happened? Let go of me." He felt the company had crossed his bottom line. Along demanded the guards open the lab door. Just then, the company alarm suddenly went off. The guards ran forward. A floating object slowly drifted by. Then, boom! An explosion. The lab's main door burst wide open. A group of armed men stormed in. They immediately gunned down the people in front of them. Luckily, Along was hiding in the shadows. Seeing no survivors, the attackers headed upstairs to continue the slaughter. Along stayed hidden, stopping his bleeding. Through the surveillance monitors, he saw the black-clad men killing upstairs too. He had no idea what was happening, or if Amy was in danger. Along went outside and picked up a guard's gun. He forced himself to overcome his fear and look for Amy, because before coming here, Amy had already paid for his daughter's surgery. He couldn't abandon the person who saved his family. When Along returned to the monitoring room, he realized Amy and the others upstairs had already been taken hostage. He was thinking about how to rescue them. "Don't move! Hands up!" A killer had found him. The killer was about to pull the trigger. He suddenly struck back. The men on the roof heard the gunshot. They asked over the radio what happened. Just a straggler, already taken care of. It was Along threatening them with the gun. Turns out the group was after the armed mech. The professor quietly activated the self-destruct program. The black-clad man immediately shot the professor dead. Failing to get the mech, they decided to kill everyone. At that moment, Amy had a quick idea. She said she could stop the destruction sequence, but only if they promised not to hurt anyone else. Meanwhile, Along had put on a black-clad attacker's gear. He infiltrated and took out the thugs one by one. Amy had successfully stopped the destruction, but the black-clad men broke their promise. They were going to gun down everyone present. The leader called for Steven, but got no response. He then ordered his men to execute the hostages. At that moment, Along stopped him over the intercom, and he used Steven as a bargaining chip, hoping to exchange him for the hostages, because Steven was the second in command among the mercenaries. The arrogant leader agreed, but just as Along dragged Steven to the exchange hall, the leader suddenly opened fire, killing Steven on the spot. It turned out the leader only wanted to lure Along out to kill him. But to his surprise, Along's skills were far beyond his imagination. Along took the leader hostage and told all the hostages to leave quickly. In that moment of distraction, the leader seized the chance to break free. After the explosion, Along heard cries for help outside. He immediately grabbed his gun and gave chase. Following the trail of blood on the floor, Along chased all the way to the underground escape tunnel. It turned out the leader was holding Amy. At Along's lowest point, Amy had always been the one helping him. Seeing the leader repeatedly beating Amy, Along had no choice but to put down his gun. But the leader still didn't spare them. Along tried to move forward, but was shot in the stomach. The leader tried to shoot again, but the pistol was out of bullets. He then grabbed a steel pipe to finish Along off. Suddenly, Amy clung to the leader's leg, telling Along to run. The leader struck Amy's back again and again. Even coughing blood, she refused to let go, until the very last moment of her life. Seeing this scene, Along recalled the tragic death of his wife. This completely enraged him. He endured the pain and charged at the leader, launching a furious assault. In the end, Along grabbed the leader and detonated a grenade, killing them both. But the movie didn't end there. A shocking twist was yet to come. Friends who like it can go to watch the original film. And I'm Movie Minute. If you find it interesting, please support me by subscribing to the channel. Thank you very much.